Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video, we're going to be taking another look at Stellar Lumens. We're going to be looking at where I'm at with Stellar Lumens and in terms of my position in the project. We're also going to take a look at how the market is doing, what the market sort of sentiment is, and what we think is coming next for Stellar Lumens. And we have previously stated on other videos that we think April and May is going to be a good year for crypto. We're going to take a look at why that is. Of course, you have to look at Bitcoin when you are talking about any of the altcoins. The reason being is because the whole market essentially follows Bitcoin. When Bitcoin sells off, the rest of the market will sell off. When Bitcoin appreciates in price, the rest of the market will benefit. And that's really just how it goes. For now, we will see a decoupling of this as kind of time goes on and as the crypto space matures. But for now, everything follows Bitcoin. And I really want to address, like I say, and we touched on it in the last video, we touched on a number of things in the last video, but one thing that we said was there are a lot of frustrated people out there in regards to Stellar and their investment. And I can see where it comes from. I am in Stellar. Stellar at one point was in my top 10. As a result of coins appreciating, it has kind of been knocked out in terms of a monetary value out of my top 10. However, it is still a significant holding of mine, and I have been accumulating Stellar for sort of the past 2 years heavily and have not sold one single looming to date. And the reason being is because I still think there is a long way to go for this project. And in terms of price, I think there is a lot of appreciation to come. We're going to be touching on all that in this video. Let's first take a look at Stellar Lumens and where it is today. It's currently sat around about 44 cents, currently up around about 7%, 7-8% on the daily. Weekly, I think it's up about 19, 18%. But essentially, there's a lot of people out there that are getting very annoyed with the price action as they're watching coins kind of, 10x, in some cases, some of the smaller altcoins 100x, go up 1,000%, etc., etc. Stellar Lumens hasn't even reached its all-time highs yet. We think that is still to come for Stellar. And one thing that I want to focus on is how Stellar has performed. And you can really see this when it comes to market cap, how it's performed in terms of price. In prior cycles, and it typically in prior bull markets, one of the best ways to try and predict and what's going to happen in the future is to look at how a certain coin has reacted in prior bull cycles. And the good thing about Stellar Lumens is we have the data there. A lot of these new altcoins that are popping off, there was no 2017 for them, so this is really their introductory cycle. But one thing I want to take a look at with Stellar is how it performed in its last cycle, and essentially it did absolutely nothing. It didn't do nothing. It did quite well, but there was nothing significant on the chart, and its kind of big massive pump didn't really come to sort of November, and kind of finished out on the sort of 4th of January. So by this time, a lot of other coins had not only been pumping throughout the entirety of 2017. We know that's certainly true when we look at Bitcoin. But some of them had already significantly made their all-time highs and were actually on the downside before Stellar Lumens had even really reached its all-time high. This, of course, is the market cap. The market cap in 2017 was around about $15.8 billion. Today, we're sat around about $10 billion. So we're 2/3 of the way there. That is, of course, for some of you that's scratching your head at that, because there's more Stellar Lumens tokens in existence, so there's a higher volume of money that is needed to move the market. So we have previously said we think Stellar Lumens could hit $5. Where are we at with that? And when we said $5, we thought in this cycle it could get as close to $5. We thought it could perhaps hit $5. Do we still believe that? Well, I absolutely do. I still think there are trillions of dollars to flow into the crypto space. We are now seeing real institutional investment. We have Goldman Sachs looking to offer Bitcoin and things like that take place in the crypto space. And we are transitioning from a kind of rogue asset into that traditional finance world. And that is going to see a large volume of money flow into this space to the tune of multi-trillions. I think by the end of this cycle, end of this year, start of next perhaps, we could see around about $8 to $11 trillion flow into the crypto space. And a coin like Stellar Lumens, that's 15th in terms of market position, in terms of market cap, is going to appreciate as a result of that. Now, I want to talk to you about Stellar, and really the success of Stellar Lumens largely depends on its integration into it being what it set out to be. Essentially, it wants to be the kind of way that people move money, assets, and a number of other things around. They have partnered with the Ukrainian bank, not the Ukrainian bank, the Ukrainian government, to help develop their CBDC, central bank digital currency. All countries around the world will have one of these eventually. The reason being is because blockchain technology and running a currency on blockchain technology, opposed to the traditional kind of way that we do it, which is like an old school ledger system, is significantly more sufficient. You can also keep track of the money significantly better, etc., etc., etc. But Stellar Lumens essentially wants to attack the forex market. It wants to attack the sort of money exchange market. It wants to be that system that sort of controls, not controls, but that system that the traditional system runs on, an improved system to replace the old one. Now, the price of Stellar Lumens largely depends on what their result is in that goal. They need to achieve things in order for this price to move up, because you actually need to own Lumens in order to operate and use their network. It doesn't need to be a lot, but you need to actually own it. So that is really why the price of Lumens is largely dictated by the success of Stellar Lumens network. Now, we spoke to you on prior videos about this kind of channel that was forming, and that we needed to actually close, not just go through it in a candle, but actually close above this kind of range that we've been in for us to see any kind of an upside. I think we've seen this kind of three impulse pattern play out. Usually after this capitulation phase, you will see a significant move to the upside. We had prior stated that Stellar Lumens was really just following Bitcoin's market cycle in terms of structure. We still think that is true today, and we absolutely think that, like I say, we have not sold one Stellar Lumens yet. The reason being is because we still think there's a lot to come. We think that they haven't really seen anything yet, and in a largely speculative market, when you see all these altcoins popping off, a lot of the time that is retail driven and very much hype driven. The fundamentals aren't yet there. We've spoke to you on a number of occasions about the fact that price and value are different things. Price is just a metric that you can weigh value up in. There's plenty of other ways to look at value in something. And when we talk about fundamental value, a use case in a market that is absolutely trillions and trillions of dollars big, and this technology interrupting it, you can really see why something like XLM is going to be valuable. And XLM for me, I plan on holding XLM sort of indefinitely. I do plan on scaling out of my position to some degree towards the end of the year. Certainly once we've seen those kind of pumps that I believe we're going to have, those kind of percentages gain that I think we're going to have in this project. But for now, I'm sticking in Stellar, and I think the fundamentals is really the reason why I'm doing that. It is very correlated to XRP's price in a number of ways. They tend to have good days and bad days together. That's just because they're essentially looking to tackle the same market. It was Jed McCaleb that kind of helped create the XRP ledger, and then of course he went over to Stellar. And there's a lot going for this project. And like I say, remember that price doesn't always dictate value. We're not seeing anything out of the ordinary today that we haven't seen back in prior bull cycles. Like I say, 2017, Stellar was a real laggard. And, I think there's still a lot to come for Stellar. And I can understand why there's a lot of people out there that are getting very disappointed in the sort of price action. It's not nice watching your coin, certainly if you're all in Stellar, which I certainly wouldn't recommend. I believe in diversification. If you look at all big hedge funds, all big sort of portfolio managers, they all practice what they preach, and that is diversification. Because the last thing you want to be is in a coin that is underperforming everything. Even if that coin later on in the cycle will outperform a number of other coins, you want to kind of appreciate your portfolio from all aspects. So I am very diversified in the crypto space. I certainly wouldn't recommend being in any one crypto, not even Bitcoin. Certainly if your objective is to make money in this space. But Stellar Lumens, the main message of this video is to kind of give you an update of where I'm at. I haven't sold a penny. I haven't sold a cent. And I still think there's a lot to come from Stellar. But I think it's going to follow 2017's sort of market structure that it took, where essentially you don't really see anything take place for Stellar. We'll highlight the area of 2017 so you can get a good sort of view of it. So this was really 2017. Come way back there. This was really 2017. You saw absolutely nothing really pop off for Stellar until sort of November, December. And then you saw this absolutely parabola, this moon shoot that I think we are going to encounter this bull cycle. So, be patient. Patience is really the key to this coin. And like I say, $5 Stellar Lumens, we saw XRP, that would give us nearly $100 billion in terms of market cap. We saw XRP go to $100 billion in 2017 with significantly less money in the space and it being a significantly more immature market. So I have high hopes for Stellar still. Has it underperformed in comparison with some other altcoins? It has, but it did that in the last cycle, and I think it's going to do that in this cycle until we get to that kind of end of cycle moonshoot phase, which I think is on the cards, and I still hold all my Stellars. I'm taking that bet personally. So that is it, guys. That's all I really have for you in this video. I just thought I'd update you. I think we're in for a good couple of months. Like I said, if you look at how we've played out traditionally in April and May, it has been, a good couple of months. And when we talk about, it is very funny when we talk about the Bitcoin 4-year cycle theory, just how accurately we are still following that. We had a sell-off this March, we had a sell-off in 2017, and April and May essentially turned into very good months. There are certain times in the year where cycles or where markets do better than other times, and April and May is going to be one of those times, in my opinion. So stay tuned for that. Stay kind of vigilant. Don't lose hope. The last thing some of you guys want to do out there is sell out of your Stellar Lumens position, only for it to absolutely pump and outperform the rest of the market, which it could do. It may not. This is all kind of, this is all relatively speculative. However, there's method behind it. So that is all I have for you in this video, guys. I'm going to love and leave you. If you have found value in this content, a like is always appreciated. A comment is an absolute must. I want to know your feedback, guys. I do these videos for you, and your feedback is crucial to me, good or bad. And that is all I have for you in this video, guys. So get subscribed to one of the realest and fastest growing YouTube channels out there. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thanks a lot for watching.